Hey everyone, this is your host Chris G from Blerd's Eyeview. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. First, it's free. You definitely can't beat that. Plus, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast and more. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Aren't you tired of talking heads just talking? Black Gamut Entertainment is vowing to change the industry. We podcast with a purpose, and our shows have goals. If you want to help make a change, then come join the Black Gamut family. Together, we make a difference.
I don't know what this was. Am I rolling with the homies?
Yeah, bro, it's rolling with the homies, man.
Keep rolling. What is Fred Durst doing?
Shit, man, he was just at the party that I was at, man.
And we are currently live. Welcome to episode 2 of season 3 of Blerd's Eyeview. I'm your host, Chris G. With me is our co-host, Brandy Blocker, and Darius DC Chambers, or I could be wrong. I could be
Chet fucking Deuster House, bro.
Fucking
Party like a fucking rock star, bro.
And our Black Queen. And if you have not noticed, I am your agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury. I may just go by my other moniker, Chris Fury. What the hell? Hey, that just might be the thing. It might not even be Chris G anymore. It might just be Chris Fury from now on. To hell with everybody else is saying.
Out, bro.
There you go.
Yeah. Protect the cock that's out though. Please wrap that.
Right.
Cock.
Yeah.
So
put a mask on it.
How's everybody doing for this whole Halloween night episode of Blerd's Eyeview? How's everybody going?
Oh, bro, I just partied with Fred Durst and Christina Milian and Lindsay Lohan, and she did a line of blow off of fucking.
Was this a 90s character?
I was literally blasting Dip It Low today, and that song is bop. So that's hilarious that you said her.
Yeah, she was there, bro. She looks hot. Fucking.
She still looks good.
God.
I don't know who she sacrificed, but she still looks amazing.
And Fred Durst of all
Fred
people.
Durst, man, he has a fucking hat.
Wait a minute, was LFO there?
Was LFO?
I think they were. Blink 8182 were on the microphone, man. It was rocking it with Limp Bizkit, you know.
Okay.
Little Beastie Boys was there, Mikey Day. It was a fucking rager, bro.
Oh my God. I'm looking for Zac Efron to show up at this
point.
point.
But Zach Morris trash ass was there.
You leave Zac Efron out of it. He's cool now. Zac Efron's actually cool now.
Zach Morris was there, man. He tried shit, man.
Speaking of Zach Morris, have you guys seen the Saved by the Bell reboot trailer for Peacock?
Yeah, I finally watched it now that I know Lisa Turtle is going to be on it, because at first I was not interested.
I wondered where she was at.
I'm wanting that, but then she had posted about it and she looks good. So I don't know what hair and makeup got to her, but they did a good job because our girl was looking crazy for a minute. And I'm like, girl, you was fine. So I don't know what's been going on. And I know she was bipolar. Well, probably is struggling with that. But I'm like, you can be bipolar all day. Don't have your looks be bipolar.
You can't have two halves of the same hole looking crazy.
As harsh as that is, but you're working in a harsh business, so we need you to look the part and be dependable. So I'm happy. Hey,
you only sister in the crowd. You
got to
represent. This is Lisa Turtle we talking about.
I'll watch Zach Morris be some trash. More stuff.
Trashy. I was actually up for that fucking part, but you know.
Oh my God!
Give
us your best Zach Morris, like breaking the fourth wall. Give us that.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm trash.
That's it. It's genius.
Nailed it. Fucking nailed it, bro.
They basically, the premise of this one is everybody, Zach and Kelly are married. We know that already, but Zach is also the governor of that part of California. Is anybody surprised that Zach Morris is a politician? Like, when you look back of all the stuff he did, you're just like, politician. It fits. I'm like,
And you don't have real friends. You used all your friends. I didn't realize how bad it was at the time until I started following that page. Zach Morris is trash, and when they just say it like he says it, I'm like, oh my god. We watched how many seasons of this?
So if Zach Morris is a politician, wouldn't that make Ferris Bueller like a vice president then? Maybe a president.
All the way back.
Wasn't he just as shady?
No, here's the thing. I feel like with him, he was still somehow more likable and charming than Zach. I never liked Zach. Like we tolerated, but I didn't like him. I didn't want to hang out with him. It's like
he had a good side, but it was because people like Kelly and Slater.
Yeah, he would have to be guilted into being like, "You guys are right." As he has his like thumbs in his pockets. You guys are right. I shouldn't have blah blah blah.
Stonewashed jeans.
Yeah, and I'm like, nigga, you've been acting like this for like 3 years. You don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Ferris Bueller. Let's face it. A lot of people like myself kind of modeled how I was getting out of school behind Ferris Bueller. Just did.
Twins.
I tried the clammy hands and everything else. I'm like, I want that stereo system he's got. That's just.
Not tried the clammy hands. I was definitely like more of a Scooby Gang. I was like, I'm going to have a crew like this, and it's going to be just like it is in Sunnydale.
Oh man.
Then you realize as a Blerd, you don't run into a lot of your own sometimes. And I'm happy I'm a part of a Blerd community now because I did not have this like that in high school.
Oh, you and me both.
Like you were in a group. So I'm with my singers or I'm on the dance team, but it wasn't like this. So
in the comfortable setting. You know, that's gonna be a show we're gonna talk about. Being a Blerd in today's society. That's gonna be a show. That's gonna be a show.
Whole topic. That's a whole.
That's a whole topic.
Trump just texted me Kofifi. I don't know what the fuck that means.
That's actually.
I got coffee. I ain't got no.
Nah, it's Kofifi, bro.
Still don't know what the fuck that is.
It's like fucking wild, bro. It's so crazy.
So it's so crazy. In some other news, I don't know if you've seen it, Darius. Netflix announced they were going to do an Assassin's Creed live action.
Yeah, I've seen that.
With who?
With Netflix. I think after
like, with who?
Oh, they're still
looking.
Yeah, they're still in looking. They haven't even gotten a showrunner yet.
Okay.
They're still in the beginning.
Who's doing it?
Yeah. I mean, I think after the success of The Witcher.
Stewart.
The Witcher's too good. Shut up.
The stories I could tell about that behind the scenes we know what happened after we mentioned MBJ last week. So
I can just imagine if I mentioned that he bust out in his armor.
Yeah.
Child, I'm like, listen, that has to probably be like the exception to my blacks only rule.
Brandy's laying down with Clark Kent, so whatever. She's gonna she's gonna make it work. So
I would have to make it work.
Oh god, it would have to make it work. They're doing a Power Rangers reboot, but now the movie that they're gonna do is gonna tie into the new shows that they're gonna do. So obviously they have some kind of deal worked out. It was a lot of dust up going on with who is it? Saban, and they had a lot of issues going on. I think they were getting ready to lose the rights or something. And so now they're going to tie, but wasn't that, with the exception of the last film that just came out, isn't that what they did before? Like they used the same squad from the shows that they used for the movies. I mean,
I felt like that's
but
how
the movies never mirrored the shows, so to say.
That's true. I mean, they're like, I get what you're saying. It's the same thing that happened with the Transformers animated film. It's the same thing. Like, I remember, plus that was the saddest weekend of my childhood. Like, kids, like, they went on a Saturday or a Friday
and never came back.
And that whole weekend, like, kids wasn't outside playing. They didn't come outside.
You have to.
That was you talking about dealing with.
Period.
Yeah, that was and then come Monday morning, they showing the animated show, and I'm like, wait, Optimus is alive? What the fuck just happened? So,
gotcha.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying. Where the movie for the Power Rangers films, they didn't really mirror the show. Like they didn't make a reference,
but it was like, oh hey, we just got this new kid. Right?
Yeah, they didn't really. Yeah, they didn't make.
In my opinion, when they got that right squad, and I watched other stuff, especially with forcing my little one to get into it when he was younger. I just feel like the chemistry and everything else will never be the same as it was with the OGs. And you really cared about what was going on with them. And it was an easy transition to have them go from regular putty fighting to going to Ivan Ooze on the big screen. That was a seamless transition to me. Even though when I watch it now, I'm like, we were really into this shit. And there's some awful parts. There are people falling that ain't get hit. There's like, you can see strings. It's bad, but I'm still into it.
Ivan Ooze was selling that lean. We don't know what the hell.
That good lean, bro. I'm talking about that
lean.
stuff, man.
And then when you think about it, I rewatched it with my son when he was like 11 or 12. And I was like, yo, he was really gonna make all the parents commit suicide. I'm like, when you're older, you looking back like that's deep as hell.
That shit was dark.
Like it was so dark. I'm like, why would we think of that?
Oh my
so
god!
I feel like
because we all secretly wanted that to happen.
We wanted our parents to jump for their baby.
Build these fucking animals and jump.
And jump.
Oh my god!
You jump. But I don't know. I guess it could work. We'll see. I don't know any of the new crew. I haven't really been following it.
Since
they went like
apparently they had I think they had a thing either this weekend or maybe it was this week. He was, and I missed it. I'll track it down.
Jason. Like, sorry, it was.
Well, Jason's
like
Jason.
A statue.
Stop it. Stop fat shaming.
I'm just
look. As long as we got the team back together, I'm gonna have to check it out like on demand.
I don't know if Tommy was
the
there.
Team. I'm good. Aisha was there.
No, Tommy.
What? No, Aisha. Just Tommy.
I think Tommy and Jason.
Well,
I mean, they had some of the old uniforms, but I'm not sure how recent this thing was.
Aisha ain't there. Come on now.
Hey, now that's
not after Trini. After Trini, the only other Yellow Ranger we cared about was Aisha. That was
flat
it.
out.
The only yellow one I cared about was Aisha. I didn't really.
Aisha came on the scene. I was like, "Who's the bitch in the
thick?
I'm excited.
With 3 C's.
And you know what? Now that we're talking about that again, rewatching it also had me bugging at that fine girl that was like in the Amazon that ain't had no clothes on.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what was I watching? Because now that we're older, I'm like, she had no clothes on.
She had on tit leaves.
Yeah,
that's
man.
it.
My God.
It was like, you got to be out here to find yourself. And I'm looking like.
Oh, she found herself a couple times that day.
And I think a lot of us did at that point.
Right. And it is that moment.
In some really sad news, we lost 2 greats today. We lost gospel singer Rance Allen, and we lost our James Bond, Sean Connery, at the age of 90.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sean Connery, 90 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking amazing.
Did anybody know that he was literally 10 years older, maybe 10 to 12 years older than Harrison Ford, and he played his father in the 3rd Indiana Jones film? That's crazy.
That's weird.
That's
gotta be really.
Talk about a mind fuck. Like,
oh my god,
who?
How am I playing his father?
They did that weird casting with like Angelina Jolie as Colin Farrell's mom when they did that movie, and I was like, Alexander.
What?
Wait a minute.
Oh, Alexander, yeah.
It was fucking
weird.
They did the same thing with Justin Timberlake in the movie he did with In Time.
Out of Time, or no, it's Out of Time. That's
yeah,
Denzel.
yeah. Out of Time is Denzel. His was In Time, and like the mother was, what
Olivia something.
Britney Spears.
No, it was Olivia. It was Olivia.
I would have remembered that.
and it was just like
that would have been crazy though.
And I remember them describing the movie and like, yeah, and she's playing his mother. I'm like, oh, okay, because she has those really piercing, pretty eyes and everything. And I'm like, oh, they must be throwing her in makeup. And then you see the film, you're like,
nope.
Yeah, you see them run to each other at the same speed, and I'm like, your mom.
It's
like
she's a MILF.
Like. It was like, and you're like the same. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it was really weird.
That was hard to swallow one. That was a hard one to swallow.
That's what she said.
That just Chad came from a party where it was hard to
yeah, bro. It was man, I can tell you about the one room in the never mind. We're on TV.
in the latest drama saga that is Justice League. I don't know what's going on with Ray Fisher. Now, for those who don't know, Ray Fisher is the guy who plays Cyborg in the Justice League film. He's always said that there was some issues going on behind the scenes with Joss Whedon and some other things. And it was never really specified as to what. And I don't think he could say at the time because it was under investigation. But recent reports just came out that said that Ray Fisher stated that Joss Whedon wanted to lighten his character, lighten the skin tone
Straight
of
CGI, bro.
Yeah, and
all the black characters.
The original article they showed had a picture of Ray Fisher in the cyborg look, and then they had Kiersey Clemons who plays Iris West, but that it was a scene that's cut out. And I'm thinking like, well, as I read the article, I was like, what does Kiersey Clemons have to do with anything? And I don't know how true this is. I don't know.
That's why I tagged you in it just to get your opinion.
It's
weird. I don't know how I feel because some stuff I'm decisive in being like, this kind of sounds like it would be real. You know what I mean? And then other stuff I'm like,
and and you and me, Brandy, we're like Joss Whedonites, and we're just kind of like, okay.
That's how I was apprehensive because I was like, I'm not.
He wanted to whitewash everybody. I'm against it.
Yeah, I'm like, is it true that's what he wanted, or is it him being like, upset because we don't
like a Ellen situation where I feel like maybe Ellen didn't directly do something, but people under you did, and you're held responsible
because you're the figurehead.
Nah, Ellen did that shit. She be playing y'all. She be getting her dancing shoes on in front of the camera, and she a slave driver behind the scenes. There's always the weird looking ones that you gotta watch.
Not the weird looking ones.
Well, see,
like an elf on a shelf.
Now, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned the Ellen one because Brandy, I was listening to you guys on the Triangle, and y'all talked about the Ellen situation with how she gave that apology, but it was kind of
apology was weird.
Yeah, it was like she tried to joke it off. I don't know if that was her way of trying to.
Because I'm like, you're so used to joking, and you should have pulled a Letterman in that moment because Letterman had his cheating scandal come up.
All
right, starting the show, serious moment. This is what happened. Yeah. And there was no jokey joke about it. There was no trying to weasel out of that moment. And
he got in front of it and he shut it down. And
and that was it.
You didn't hear anything else about it. Like
Joe didn't. And now he's still doing his show his way. So
yeah. Amazing. Wow. Of all the things we have to deal with in 2020. Hold on, let me do this because this is gonna kill me.
He's gonna switch the eye patch again.
Switch the iPad. I'm gonna switch to my glasses.
Oh,
I love how you do have a Clark Kent Superman situation going on because you do, in my opinion, look different without your glasses. Where did
I tell people that actually works? I was really shocked. Like that actually worked.
You're right. Exactly. Who's this guy?
Because I wear scrubs.
Where'd Chris go?
Where's Chris?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Like I wear scrubs at work, and now that everybody's wearing masks, all you see is people's eyes. And unless you see them all the time, you don't know what they really look like. So when you see them, they're like, they might recognize you or something, but then you see them like, yeah, who are you?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Now I recognize your voice because I don't recognize your face. So that is so weird. They're doing a Hellraiser TV series.
Interesting.
Yes, and really? Clive Barker has been attached as an executive producer.
I like him.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
It's his baby.
Okay.
So why not? That means he has some kind of say. To kind of keep an eye on things. It's good. I mean, sometimes it's good to have that. And something else that's being thought of or been brought up as being made into a TV series, Misha Green, who is the showrunner for Lovecraft Country, has expressed interest in doing a It television series, but it's based more on the origin of Pennywise and how everything came about. Which, if you've not just seen the films but read the book as well, you kind of want to know. You kind of, I mean, she obviously, and it's Jordan Peele produced. Oh, yeah, it should. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then speaking about,
ride that out, man.
Yeah, and then speaking of Jordan Peele, he is being touted as wanting to do a remake of People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, I just read that, and that's fucking amazing.
Now, and
for, a good job.
We talk about how Black people being the lead in horror films and everything else. And this was probably one of those few times, it was in the early 90s.
It was a black kid.
It was a black kid who pulled the stunt off. You know,
that movie's fucking underrated.
It really is, and it's a Wes Craven
people
film. It's a Wes Craven film, and
like Ving Rhames was in that movie, like a young, early Ving Rhames.
Like they called
the dude
Jody Mama.
Yeah, everybody thought he was Jim Carrey.
I thought it was
because it looked like he did look like Jim Carrey.
It'll be interesting to see how this is cast for both of those, and I think with just the pull that she's gotten now from Lovecraft Country, and then what's crazy is we haven't even seen what she can really be able to touch now with the success of Lovecraft Country, because what they're seeing now is just because of the people that just watched it. It's really cool to see people a year or two from now get into something that came out, and then there's this whole new resurgence of this person is the shit, or this genre is everything, and we need more of this. So I'm excited to see what she does in the next 5 years with the access she's going to be able to have to stuff. Because a woman and a woman of color being able to tell stories like this is going to be huge for the cast, for the crew.
Yeah, and pulling all types of weight with this.
Listen, because I'm not like a scary.
She's only like 35,
but she's young.
Yeah,
she's right there on the cusp of greatness. Well, I think she already passed.
I mean, that means she's been in the game.
Lovecraft Country, you've done your job, ma'am. If you don't ever do anything else,
because she did Underground. She was one of the writers for Underground.
And
Sons of Anarchy.
Juicy's little sister was there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Juicy.
Juicy who?
Juicy Smouye.
Oh, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I party with him too.
So she's worked with Journey before on Underground. So obviously she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So
I think she got the trust of all the actors and actresses to really
that just knows what she's doing. She's been on the shows that Misha Green has been on have been great shows. Like I mentioned, she was on Sons of Anarchy, which she wrote a couple episodes for them. She wrote stuff for Underground, and now she's the showrunner. When you're the showrunner, that is heavyweight. That's heavyweight to pull, because all of that is on your back.
Especially when it's something that's male dominated and not
yeah.
So that's a big deal.
So it's great to see her in that capacity. That's fun stuff. Something premiered yesterday that I had the opportunity of watching for twice already.
Okay.
I watched the first episode of the second season of The Mandalorian.
I haven't got into that, and I have Disney Plus, and I haven't gotten into it yet.
Yeah, I have Disney Plus and never watched it.
And everybody loves it. I haven't heard anything bad.
It's very well written. Jon Favreau is behind this entire thing. He's behind this, and the team that he's picked to help run this show, Dave Filoni, who is a major Star Wars fan. When you talk about how the current the movie series have been ran, you see the aesthetic is different, and especially in the last 3 films, and you either love them or you hate them. You either love the films or you hate them, and you have some really hardcore fans who just like, I hate the last 3. I hate the last 3. And when they give their reasons why they hate the last 3, I understand, like we talked about last week with John Boyega, kind of trashing his character, thinking it was going to go somewhere, giving Daisy Ridley like a kind of a trash background. You really didn't flesh it wasn't what everybody thought it was going to be.
I feel like both of them, that could have been a lot better had the script been better.
Yeah, you changed directors. You started with one director, then by that 8th one, you changed it, and then you went back to the first one on the 9th. It was weird. It's weird, and it shows. And it was like you could tell that like Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams did not collaborate at all. You could tell. It just shows. And I mean, I can understand. They're great films to watch. Don't get me wrong.
Well, visually stunning. Yeah, I'll give that.
Yeah, they're great films to watch.
They're and then visually stunning.
Yeah, listen.
I mean, there's some moments in those films that you're just like, okay, that was good.
That one scene where they were all fighting those red guards, that shit went hard.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight scene. That scene was crazy. The emotional scene was when you find that when Chewbacca finds out that General Leia passed.
That was sad.
And like it was just like, wow, like you've never seen that character break down. He broke down, like fell to his knees, and you kind of felt that. You're just like, damn, everybody he knows is dying around him because his kind lived for a very long time. So now to see his best friend / brother gets killed by his nephew, so to speak.
Yeah, that was so funny.
You know, and he couldn't.
I was like, why couldn't we just go to counseling? Why couldn't we bring in Iyanla to fix y'all life? Because it didn't even have to be
right. Like, I mean, he watched his nephew kill his own father, and like, because let's face it, Kylo Ren is Chewbacca's nephew. It just it's that not by blood, but you know.
I'm about to say, how the fuck is that?
Yeah, not by blood, but you know, him and Han been partners for ever.
Pretty much. And if they were all cool, that definitely would have been an uncle situation. Like,
exactly.
This your people.
Exactly. So you know,
whose son is Kylo Ren again?
Han and Leia
had a kid named Kylo Ren.
Well, actually, his name was Ben.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
See, that's why I ain't watch it.
Yeah, his name was Ben.
I think his name Ben, but he was like, hey, man, you know, I'm going.
Well, you know, Kylo. it's just like Anakin. It's just like Anakin. When
you
Anakin
can't be in that world and your name's Ben. It's like, I'm sorry.
The Ben ain't super gangster. You right.
Yeah.
You roll up like, hey man, give me your money. I'm Ben. Nigga, like, man,
that don't work.
He was like, no, you were named after one of the greatest Jedis known, but now you went to the dark side, so you're gonna do like your grandfather did, and you're gonna change your name. You know, so
Nation of Islam shit. We changed your name.
Right. yeah. I'm Chris X. See all this black.
Pretty much.
You like you about to go do a Def Jam poetry session.
The slam session.
The man said, I can't do what I want to do, but I'm going to watch Star Wars all day.
And we have.
Oh, you've done a marathon?
I've done a marathon. I've done a Star Wars marathon, and I've done a Lord of the Rings marathon.
I've done a Lord of the Rings, and I've done a Harry Potter. And I've done that too. I've done that one too. I think we're trying to do the next one we do is gonna be, well, no, we already did it. We did all the Insidious.
Oh, okay.
Related to that.
They're doing another one.
I love those films. Oh,
they're doing another one. They're doing another one.
I'm not mad at it because I just love it. Although like 2 of them are trash.
Yeah.
Same.
I agree. But I think this will be Insidious 5.
12.
As long as it's not like Fast and the Furious 9, 10, and 11. Like, I don't know.
Jump off a bridge and shit. That shit don't make no sense.
Going to space and then
I don't know how you're going to explain them going to space. Dominic
Toretto. No one even cares.
There's a rocket. We have to go to space. Family.
I think so. I think you were family.
I seen this cartoon making fun of that shit. This like explaining all the Fast and the Furious stunts. Like, we gotta jump out of this plane because we're family.
And they do it. Like nobody's ever like, except for
question that
every once in a while, they just do it. And I'm just like, yo.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Except for Ludacris, he was like, I want to be in the car, but I'm the tech guy, so I'm gonna stay behind.
Look, y'all need my mind. I'll holler at you.
We're gonna slide on ice with rockets flying at us because we're family.
Because we're a family.
It always wraps around.
My nigga, you talking about jumping a tank out of an airplane with a parachute and we all gonna live? How, my nigga? How?
Well, see, there's still.
He said,
like, how unrealistic was that? Let's think about it. And we never questioned that.
What was it? Was it 5? Was it 5 when he faces off with Jason Statham for the first time? And like Dom had that big wrench. Jason Statham had that piece of metal wreckage, and they slammed it against each other like they were two swords.
It was a sucking forward. Yeah.
And the first thing I said to myself, and I'm like, you know, the impact from that will tear your hands up.
Yeah. No. Or how the Rock
these guys
threw a fucking pack and this nigga shot it while car was flipping and perfectly hit this one little square ass bag and nobody thought nothing of it. Like,
you mean like in Transporter or something?
No, this was in the one with the Rock and all of them, you know what I'm saying, at the end where the fucking building is just falling down and nobody says nothing of how this big slab ass building is falling down like a fucking domino. Nobody questioned that. Can we stop not questioning?
It's like nobody questioned like all the cars that they put like in a chain that connects to a helicopter, and I was just like, huh?
The Rock is holding this one car like a magnet.
Oh yeah, he definitely doing Steve
Rogers.
Oh,
he was doing the Steve right. He was doing the Steve Rogers, right?
And we never questioned that.
You know what? No. I'm like, we
were riding with it because it was Steve Rogers. We know what Captain America's capable of doing.
Yeah, we let that go, and then it just looked cool, honestly.
Now we got some random ass ex-CIA agent just holding down chains.
Like he's just a badass. I mean, I'm not knocking him, but you know, it's
true. And then I'm like, if Idris got this superhuman, he's the Black Superman in this movie, and all the shit that's pumped through him, ain't no way that y'all can take a hit from this man and live to tell the tale.
Like y'all can hit in 4 buildings.
I think what they don't show
is realism.
The realism was like because they that's the behind the scenes. It was like, yeah, we're gonna go home, and then that's when the bruises show up later on after the adrenaline didn't die down.
Like these niggas get shot at. Ribs. Man. The next day, everybody drinking a beer like nothing ever happened. Like, what the fuck?
And then most they have is like a little bit like a gauze or something right here. Yeah. Like, so what are we gonna do about this guy? And I'm like, what?
Can I sleep for like a week first?
This dude had a little baby ass cut, looked like it was like from a month ago. It was like still a little red. Like, how the fuck you just got into a fight yesterday, got your ass beat, and all you got is one little scar?
That's it. And you literally
one little tear. That's all you got. Come on, man.
You said one little tear.
Hard, you went into the rubble, and you're fine.
Oh my god!
Like dude's car flipped 47 times,
and you're fine.
He gets up, broken ribs. The next day he like, oh shit, let's play football, bro. Tackle.
Just run it off. Just run it off. That's all you do.
Like now that I'm old, I start looking at that shit like a cranky old man. Just be like, that's not real.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
That shit's not happening. No, my kids try like, that shut stuff. Up, Dad. We're trying to watch. I'm like, there's no way a vampire and a fucking wolf is fighting over this pasty ass chick. I don't care. That's not real.
First of all, what we're not gonna do is come for Underworld like that. That's what we
No, Underworld is fine.
Underworld is fine. I was talking about fucking.
He's coming to Twilight. He's coming for Twilight.
Okay, I was like, don't do that. Well, you see what generation I'm a part of because I wasn't thinking Twilight.
But look at how that line gets blurred.
Yeah.
That was a general ass statement, but you go one way or the other, I'm offending a lot of fucking people.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I am not a fan of Twilight.
Them pastely ass.
You want to? I've never read the novels.
The virus of the book. Yeah.
The virus. I've never touched the virus that is that book.
But mind you, and Brandy can back me up on this. This came on the heels after you canceled Angel in its 5th season.
And I felt away because that last episode.
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna slay the dragon. Damn.
Like nothing. And then
it still was like mad that it was the series finale, but damn, that was a good line to end it on.
It was a great line. I have never been more in love with Wes. There was just like so many people that I didn't expect to give a fuck about. That the writing that made you like Angel was worth it. Like that got better season after season, and y'all give us this.
That season was crazy. We're gonna talk about this for a second. We ain't coming off of that. We're gonna talk about this for a second. The last season of Angel, when all this, because by this time they're running Wolfram and Hart, and the stuff that was going on and the deals and that was happening, and you're just like, what the. Why are they?
Are you playing? It was very like I was wondering. I was like, so who's in the tinfoil hat writing this behind the scenes? Because this is very like.
And then they show what was it? The glamour episode, and that's when you find out what he was like. Oh no, he was setting all this stuff up because he was trying to work something from the inside out. All this time he was trying to fight the forces of evil from the outside and push it through. And he's like, there's only one way I can do this. And this is how they end up with Wolfram and Hart. And he's like, I have to do it from the inside and tear it down. And that's when he let the rest of the team in on it because everybody was starting to question him. Everybody.
You look crazy when you don't know. And then that also shows you who's like, you really have to know and trust a person.
Yeah,
in that situation, because if you don't,
and that was that moment. My God, that was that moment.
I would have been like, "Look, can we talk?" And the water.
He was like, my dude, you want to tell me what the fuck going on?
And then to have all that happen, and you still have to work as a team, because some people don't know how to have like reveals happen in shows where it's like you made this decision and did this, and you didn't tell us. And then half of you is like, you understand why they couldn't, but the other half is like, you're supposed to trust me. You're supposed to be that nigga. Right. It's right.
That
like,
was insane.
Beyond this.
That was insane. Trust. To see all of that, and it came down to it. And it was so much that was lost prior to that.
I don't remember the girl's name who played her, but she played the hell out of that.
Who for not for Fred?
Yes. I don't know her name as an actress, but she did a phenomenal job.
That was so painful to watch.
That was a heartbreaking exit. I'm like, can you imagine?
When she, not just the exit, but when you see that Fred dies,
never comes back.
In this time demon or whatever is the one that's taking over her body. And Wes, who had been working with her all this time, and now he's dealing with the time demon
who living inside who is like Anya on steroids.
Yeah, because she's so used to being this major god. She was like this god where she's from, and she's living inside the body of a woman he loved, and he had to deal with that. And you could see the anguish in his face the entire time, where he's trying to show her humanity. He's trying to show her why they do, just like you said with Anya. He's trying to show her humanity, why they do certain things. But that last final scene when they're together, because Angel sends everybody off in teams to different areas, and he sends those two off to face off with one of these other demons that feeds off. Yeah. And it was like he was like a wizard or something, but he was a demon. And Wesley takes that basically that fatal blow. He doesn't die, but he's dying. And she's holding him, and she says, "Would you like me to be her now?" And those was his dying words, was like, "Yes." And then she changes into him and back into Fred and gives her final words and everything. Then he dies, and then she stands up, and as she's standing up, she turns back into the time demon and punches this wizard in the face, and his whole face and head just shatters.
Oh, I loved it. I love when I think her name was Illyria.
Yes, that's what it was.
I love when Illyria, after that moment, that's when you realize you're actually finally in tune with humanity, because now you're fucking pissed. And even when she rolled back with the crew, like, what's up?
Yeah,
because I'm
and she was calling everything. Like, Gunn was bleeding to death. You didn't realize he had gotten bit, but he ended up fighting off a whole nest.
You gonna make me watch this mess again?
Yeah, that was, oh my god. And then, like, what was his name? The one that used to work for Wolfram in the Heart, but they brought him in.
I know what you're talking about too, because he acted the hell out of that.
But he was always against Angel.
Oh, he was always, because he was a shorter guy. And he had that like douchey haircut. I hated his hair. Oh god, I hated his hair. Oh, I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, I gotta check
the hell out of that role.
Oh god, and he teamed him up with Lorne.
Yeah,
and Lorne was like, and Lorne is never for the violence. He was just like, you sing me a song at my club, and I can tell you your future or whatever. And he was like, he was never a fighter. He was never a fighter. They just went to him for advice, and he kills this dude. He basically, I think he shot him, and he was like, well, wait, dude looked at him like, why? He was like, this was the last job I told Angel I'd do for him, and he walks off. And I'm like, damn,
right? You're just like, wow.
That was an intense episode, because I'm just like,
intense ending and a season. But I just knew. Now, do you know if they like wrote that knowing that was it at that time?
I remember the article saying that they did not know if they hadn't gotten the word yet.
Okay, so
they hadn't gotten the word yet, and they said,
like, if it was the end, we're okay with this. Yeah, but maybe leaving it open-ended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they weren't sure how they were going to play it, so they had to leave it some way, and they just kept trying to find out if they were going to hear, if they were getting renewed, and nothing came of it. Nothing came of it. So
awful to be in that position as a writer, and of course as an actor, actress, where you're just kind of waiting to see if you get another season.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because then you don't know what other projects to take on. You might say yes to something, but you don't want to, but you also want to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also need your money. And you don't plan on being at Applebee's. So it's like, I need the job.
But thankfully, everybody still ended up working.
Oh, David Boreanaz did like extremely well. Like, what?
Yeah.
Bones, that was a wrap.
FBI, Bones.
He's done really well. You know, I expected better from my boo Mercedes. I expected her to do more because I loved her. Her feature in Addams Family I loved, and then her as Harmony I loved, and I just expected her to get more, but I think she's got a bit probably typecast. I think some people probably didn't get into other stuff because of that.
Yeah. There was Harmony. Talk about somebody you almost couldn't stand to see because she was always up to something. Good Lord, Harmony.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like she was trying to. She was just.
She just played that role well. That's all.
Younger, she was very annoying, and then older, watching reruns, I'm like, I really feel for you, girl, because you're just every girl who wants somebody to like them or love them. That's it.
Yeah, and that was the role. Yeah, that was the role she played.
You're dangerous in that sense because you're rolling with anybody who likes or love you.
Yeah.
So there's no loyalty really to one person except for in that moment, and as soon as they turn, you on to the next one. That toxic ass relationship with Spike, I'm like, this should have been a lesson to us bitches.
Oh, and the only reason why he dealt with her is because she was blonde, and if he had this weird fixation for Buffy.
I mean, Harmony was a baddie, so I'm like, I understand why you deal with her. She looks good.
He was like, how did Spike put it? He kept calling her a twit. Like
they
he get mad at her.
Like a less intense version of freaking Harley Quinn and Joker.
Yes.
That's pretty much how the dynamics were.
It was.
But abuse people because him and Drew,
we've said it. Oh my God, you didn't know who
he had The Walking Dead and what was that?
Fear of the Walking Dead.
Fear of the Walking Dead. But I mean, just like all the movies for vampires. I mean, zombies. Yeah, all the Resident Evils and the one with John Leguizamo and they had a tank and you got the one where they were at the mall with Vin Rames and you had. I just had all these different zombie movies. For Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, The Living Dead Lives, and so it's like all these zombies. And you know, it played like everything has its phase unless you're able to find those core hardcore fans that no matter what our genre will stay.
Yeah.
And Supernatural had that cult-like following. Like they were able to build a following in the beginning to where people stayed on that ride for 15 years. That's saying a lot because you know, you got I think Smallville got 10 seasons.
Yeah. At the time Smallville was holding that record. Now
Marvel's Agent Shield, they only had 7.
Yeah. But even they had a downturn, you know.
Yeah, they had shows that had, where they thought they got canceled.
Like that's like season 3 of Smallville when they were dealing with Lana and she was like some kind of witch or something. I don't know, it was something crazy. Supernatural didn't have a downturn season. They just didn't.
Smallville had like 2 throwaway seasons where it was just like, what the are y'all doing this whole season? Like it just didn't make sense. That was one, and then the other one was when like Chloe was doing the like secret spy work.
Yeah.
Like who was she? I forget who she was working for, but she was like spying on Clark, but she wasn't spying on Clark, but she wasn't telling on Clark, but she was.
Yeah.
It was just like confusing.
Now she's in a sex cult. Okay.
Well, allegedly she is.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, she was one of the recruiters and handlers, but we ain't gonna get into that because this ain't that type of show. But tune in for What the Shit, where we would go deep dive on Chloe Sullivan, the sex regular.
The sex regular. Well, this is the part of our show where we're going to do the news section of everything. So I'll start that part off here. The heavily anticipated film Wonder Woman 1984 has finally received its release date. The film will be released in theaters and on the new HBO Max streaming service on the same day. And if you do not have to pay extra to see the film, it's going to be released on Christmas. So after being pushed,
getting HBO Max.
Just for that.
Well, not just for that, because I still want to see the Snyder Cut.
Right.
And HBO Max is building a library that is going to rival like Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually going to be better because Netflix has some cheesy movies on there.
They do.
Speaking of, real quick, they have I think it's Hulu, has a Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary.
Word. Let me finish this piece real quick.
Whoa, and in other news, Nick Cannon is set to play Tupac in a biopic. Where the fuck are we going in life if Nick Cannon is going to be Tupac?
Anyway, so after being pushed back several times due to COVID-19, Warner Brothers decided to release the film. Wonder Woman 1984 will be available on HBO Max for a month before going to video on demand and digital outlets. So that's one piece. And if you do not know the names of Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux Loughlin, then you will soon. The sister duo are writers for Bob's Burgers as well as executive producers for the show, and they have been selected to be the writers of everyone's favorite Merc with a Mouth, Deadpool.
So that's who they got, because I know they were talking about they got rid of the original writers.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, because Bob's Burgers low key it's humor, but it's smart humor, but it's kind of a Deadpool humor at the same time. They poke fun at a lot of shit that I think going forward. I was scared because I was nervous. I'm like, okay, wait, y'all got rid of the writing team who brought us the first two, or at least the first one for sure. Who are y'all bringing in?
Yeah,
and is Ryan Reynolds still Deadpool? I need to know this, because
like, he's still well. See, that's the thing. It's going to be returning to theaters, keeping its R rating. That's a good thing. David Leitch was the previous. David Leitch was the previous director, but they do not have a director yet for the third film, and it's already David Leitch is actually booked all the way through 2021, so that's why they can't bring him in.
No, I want Ryan Reynolds to direct. Why not?
Yeah, he probably will.
I mean, you already have the vision.
Yeah, he's one of the producers anyway. So.
You're already a producer. Why not just,
But a release date has not been announced. So, but yeah, that's some. It's some.
I'm really looking forward to that. Like,
it's actually good news.
It's actually great news for me, because I was thinking like, we're not gonna get it. If we do, it's gonna be some bullcrap animated series.
Yeah,
which they already tried that before.
That didn't work.
Let's not get into the Deadpool animated series. That was
we'll leave that alone. At the loss to Chadwick Boseman, which is still felt by fans around the world, including yours truly, many were unsure how the sequel of one of the Marvel's biggest films would go on. So, with reports earlier this week stating that Marvel would not use CGI in Boseman's place, it left fans thinking of what course of action will be taken. The latest rumor mill is that Letitia Wright's character, Shuri, is being prepped to take on a bigger role, speculating that Shuri could be taking up the mantle as the Black Panther, as she did in the comics.
Well,
no, go ahead.
I think that was already, I've heard that was kind of the plan even before he died, that eventually Shuri would take over the mantle and become part of the Young Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that was a rumor. But now with his death, that kind of pushes that up a little further up the food chain. I don't want to see a CGI Paul Walker type deal.
No, and I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone wanted to see anything CGI. I think the story behind it is, okay, if we're going to do it this way, we need some kind of way to respectfully.
I'd rather it be like he got crushed by a building and you can't see his face. Let's do something like that. I mean, not to be like cartoonish or make it sound like I don't care.
It's almost like a snatch the Band-Aid off type of situation.
Yeah, but it's just like you can't really show his face. And I don't want to see CGI. I don't want to see somebody as stand-in that kind of looks like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because then that's just a slap in the face. Like, y'all are trying to like hold on to his, essence just a little bit longer, milk that juice, like just.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They said they want to be respectful. I mean,
or he dies with his mask on.
Yeah, they already had to push the date back, but they had to push the date back due to everything else being pushed back. It had nothing to do with his death. It probably would have eventually. Yeah, it gives them more time, because see, really, in reality, he would have been already training for the film that starts to film. So, but in other Black Panther news, Tinoch, let me make sure I don't mess up his name. Tinoch Huerta of the Netflix series Narcos Mexico has joined the cast in an unnamed antagonist role. So my guess is Prince Namor. Yeah.
Oh crap! I would never say that name.
Yeah. See,
is Namor Mexican? Like, what is
no?
Namor?
But
because he looks Asian, kind of Asian descent.
Well, see, yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know. Well, they're doing this inclusion thing now. So
I mean, he could actually be any race other than black.
Yeah, right. So the release date is still scheduled for the release date is scheduled for 2022, but they start filming in July of next year. It was going to be March of next year, but everything, I mean, COVID pushed everything back. Chadwick Boseman passing pushed everything back. So
there's a lot.
Yeah. So I think it was, and Disney wanted to be extremely respectful. They said we just can't just pick somebody to do this. He's that role he embodied.
People would
they would have all types of hate, and there's just, I mean, in reality, it's the truth. If you, one, you're trying to be respectful. Two, how do you go forward and do it in a respectful manner? You know, what do you do? You know, and
it's tough. Like I said, I mean, you either he dies off with his mask on.
Yeah, I mean, even if all signs are pointing to Shuri anyway. That's just it. The question of the matter is, if they were doing that from the beginning, they probably had a good way of doing it.
Now,
whether it meant him dying on screen, the character dying on screen or something, but now that the actor has passed, now we might not want to do that.
Yeah, you know, it's in poor taste now.
Yeah, you know,
I had a thought before when they were talking about like passing the mantle in the series. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, T'Challa is tired of doing that part of the job. He just wants to focus on being a regular king and taking care of the people. And he's getting married to, in my dream, it was Storm. So yeah, that's how you introduce Storm. Him and Storm get married.
Now all of that has changed.
Yeah, he hangs up the Panther, gives it to Zuri. Shuri takes over, but you still got Storm kicking ass, and T'Challa's just like your everyday average king again.
Yeah. So, that's what I got for my news segment. What you got? Anything for your? Well,
yeah, yes. This is
DC the Ghost Gaming Corner.
Yes, let's go. Everybody, welcome to the corner. I'm going to show you 2 footages. If you haven't seen this, we're going to break it down just a little bit. If I can get it. Let's see. That's beautiful. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let me slump down a little bit for you guys. All right. There we go. So, no, I'm not going to do that. So this is NBA 2K1, the next gen edition. And as you can see, it looks beautiful. I don't know. It's not getting the justice it deserves on my screen, but if you have 4K, it's going to pop. This is actual game footage that they took. Dallas
that looks so real.
Yes,
it looks so real.
Just watch when he comes in. It's Dallas versus Golden State. I mean, they updated the fans. Like, look at the interaction. Mark Cuban looks amazing. You got the mascot, whatever he is. Look at Steph.
Wow,
like, even with the Amish
so
beard,
real, man. Damn.
Even with the Amish beard that Steph Curry has and that weird whatever, and Clay Drake Thompson, you know, just like Tim Hardaway Jr. Like the movement, the ball, it's amazing. So this has already dropped. If you have Xbox One or PlayStation and you bought the Kobe edition of the current gen game, you get this free as an upgrade. It's amazing. From what I hear, I don't have it yet. I have the upgrade, so once I get the new Xbox, which is I know what I said last week about not getting it, and I'm itching, man.
Temptation.
This right here, this is why, because they revamped this whole game.
That's some really clean looking. My damn. I'm just the graphics on this thing looks amazing.
Yeah, and you got to think, this ain't even 4K. Like, you get that 4K TV, the sweat, and just the and this is without sound too. So you got to remember that sound. The immersion of this game is amazing.
That looks good. What's the release date for that one?
That's already out.
Oh, okay.
Like, you get the new system. It's look at the beads of sweat. Like, that sweat is. All right, so we're gonna go into another one, which sadly we have to, because this is Madden, which doesn't drop until December 24th because they pushed back because they didn't want to compete with 2K. You know, when you look at 2K's next gen, and then you look at Madden, like Madden, it's always graphically looked amazing. Like, this has always been the look of Madden. I think on next gen you have a lot more of what they call DLR, deferred lighting rendering, which means that your shadows are going to look more like shadows, and the light change in the lights are actually going to make a difference. You know, if you got 2-watt light bulbs versus a 50-watt, sun versus dark, right? Natural light versus just the incandescent light bulbs, like those things are going to make a difference. And also how you see off the helmet, like reflections and everything like that. Plus just the shading of the jerseys and the color schemes, it looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie, just gameplay wise, it's whatever. But just as a trailer, and we're just looking at it on face value, it does look good.
It does.
It's always Madden has always been a good looking game. Their problem is getting the replication of simulation football down there where they struggle. But as you can see, I mean, when you look at it, they have what they call next gen stat tracking. So what that is in real life, you have those RIFD jersey trackers in the shoulder pads that tracks movement, speed, you name it, they tracks it. They're taking that and implementing it into the game. So now everything is based off the stats of a player. How fast does he go in this kind of break? What's his top end speed? How often does he run in this play? So it's a lot of stats driving this. I can get into some downsides of it because I've been researching. But I'm not going to go there. We're going to stay positive today, people. So this is Madden. It drops December 24th. Again, it does look amazing. As far as the immersion, I mean, the stadium is beautiful. The sidelines, from what I hear, this trailer was taken. They didn't really show the sidelines because if you look at the sidelines in Madden, it's always like some random player with the same jersey numbers, and they're all standing around looking goofy, clapping at the same time. It looks weird. But what I heard, it's supposed to look more like a real sideline to where you have people, different sections of the team, like defense, linebackers talking to each other, looking at film, or just talking to coaches, and you got other players ready to go on the field. So it's supposed to look a lot better. I'm just looking forward to Madden 22. I'm sorry, that's just as a franchise player, that's where the bulk of their new changes, the things that they took away from us before, are coming back. So if you're looking to play Madden like I am, I broke down and bought Madden because Madden right now, if you buy it, even if you buy it for this current gen, you get Madden for free no matter which version you buy. So I bought Madden at full price because when next gen does come out, I get that version for free.
Okay.
Wow. So there you go, DC's Gaming Corner. Madden 2K for this week.
Madden 2K. I'm leaning towards 2K.
Yeah, trust me, I'm leaning at 2K. But also in the 2K, they revamped the My Player mode, which is like the career mode. They revamped that, so now you can start off high school, college, D-League, or just straight to the NBA. Which I'm anxious to see the story because they never gave any details on the story mode for that. Because 2K had Spike Lee do something. You've had a lot of great actors be on 2K in their story mode movie, so to say. So it's crazy to see what they could do going to a bigger system with more memory and more power to be able to really convey some of the things they want to do. And the WNBA's in there, so women can play 2K now too.
Yeah, that's a plus. Yeah, that was definitely a plus. I liked how they added that.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I might make me a female WNBA player just to.
Why not?
I mean, different game.
Yeah.
And I just think it's more geared towards the people. It ain't geared towards just men anymore. Like I said, the WNBA came in last year. It actually got a lot of women because you have a lot of women gamers who play 2K, but they don't want to play as a man.
Right.
But they had no choice. So, now you can get your girlfriends together and y'all can play 2K. You know what I mean?
Why not?
It's appealing to all facets of people. They have the city, which is pretty much like their neighborhood on the current gen, which is, you go around this neighborhood, you can go to stores and different shops and buy stuff and hang out, play street ball. A Pro-Am, which is like a pickup 5-on-5. They built a city, which is...
If
you know what a neighborhood is, and you know what a city is, bigger, it's people. It's bigger. I don't think that goes without saying that, the city is going to be something huge to this game. And it's just going to have a lot of, I know a lot of people right now are putting in hours on this game. We're talking about 10 to 15 hours. And sometimes a day, some people ain't even going to work.
Right.
There's this one guy who, because they have tournaments like that you see on TV, ESPN carries their E-League series, which there's, I think, 12 to 15 teams now. They do a draft, and it's like but they're playing with their creative players they're my players. You create your own player, build him up, take him through the league, and you can qualify for this tournament, but you can get in to get drafted to this league where they get paid. So a lot of people are using this as a job now.
Yeah, why not? Oh man, well, thanks for all that. I'm glad I'm glad I got these segments together. Well, that was our news segment. Well, part of it. We have a segment that we've been doing since last season. It's called On This Day in Pop Culture History. But see, this particular week, a lot of stuff happened on this week of November. So, on this week in pop culture history.
On this day in pop culture history.
And on this week in pop culture history, November 15th, 1977, Guardian, aka Vindicator of Alpha Flight, made his debut in Uncanny X-Men issue 109 by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. On November 16th, 1976, in an Uncanny X-Men issue 103 by Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum, Wolverine's name is revealed, and it's Logan, or at least that's his code name, because we now know him as James Howlett.
James Howlett.
Yep. On November 17th of 1981, Captain America discovers the altered egos of Iron Man and Thor, which is Dr. Donald Blake, in the Avengers issue 216 by Jim Shooter and Alan Weiss.
Crazy side note, they have the Dr. Donald Blake outfit in the new Avengers game, which that's one of the cool outfits to play with, because it's like a Pantera t-shirt and a Donald Blake name tag and some jeans.
They didn't give him the little cane?
No. This was a more modern, young, hip Donald Blake.
In 2004, the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes, debuted in Captain America #1 by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. And in November of 1980, in the Uncanny X-Men issue 142 by Chris Claremont and John Byrne, one of the most talked about moments in X-Men history happened. Days of Future Past, where everyone dies.
Yeah, that movie was...
It could leave some desires. And on November on November 21st of 2012, in another restart of Captain America, which is also Captain America #1 by Rick Remender and John Romita Jr., Steve Rogers is sent to Dimension Z, a hellscape dimension that is ran by Arnim Zola, where Cap is trapped for several years, and he ends up having to raise Arnim Zola's son, Ian Black. And once he makes it back to the regular universe, that guy dies because he's an adult. But that's what happened on this week in pop culture history. So on to our main topic, everyone. So with the resurgence of Saved by the Bell, which we've talked in great length about, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, we also have cancellations. It just came down the pipe that Black Lightning, after season 4 of Black Lightning, that's going to be their last season. Supergirl, this is going to be Supergirl's last season as well. And there are so many spinoffs, remakes,
Painkiller,
reimaginings. Yeah, Painkiller is getting a spinoff from Black Lightning. So we're waiting to see how that turns out. And you got to say, the question remains, we deal with so many remakes, we deal with so many reimaginings, and so many spinoffs. Some of them are good, whether it's film or television. Some of them good, some of them are bad.
Most of them are bad.
I had the pleasure, I don't know if you want to say pleasure, but Blumhouse Productions has pretty much known well for their thriller and horror films. And I think what they've been doing lately is taking old shows or old characters and remaking them. Their first one out the gate was The Invisible Man, which actually was really good. It was different. And the latest one I just seen was Fantasy Island, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, that show period was weird. So
yeah, you go to this great, beautiful island and you get the world's wildest dreams come true.
I mean, this one had a twist on it.
This had a major twist on it. This one had a twist where you died, or it was very dark. It showed a very dark half to yourself, and they told you why it happened. And so it was more of a horror. It was more of a thriller type feel. It was different. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I just don't touch Three's Company.
Oh God! If they turn Three's Company into some kind of John Wayne Gacy horror thing,
like the third, like the Jack Tripper character is really some sadistic
Jack
masochist. Yeah, he's like sadistic masochist, and he's just keeping the girls hostage in the apartment
and cutting their legs, and like
Mr. Furley's a drugged out landlord. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the remakes unless they're better than the original.
Right.
You can't remake something and it's just trash.
Well, see, I had a conversation with on Nerds on Ice, and a good point was brought up. It said that one of the panelists said it depends on who's the director, who's the writer, and who's the cast. And I said, you know what, that does make a big difference. Take The Equalizer. It was a popular show during the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And then
I
they redid
forgot
it.
About that.
Yeah. And then they redid it, and it was Denzel. And it was
that movie.
Right there alone.
I think even if Denzel wasn't the main character, that movie was so well written.
Yeah.
You could have had maybe Samuel L. in there.
Oh yeah.
Any of those black action heroes. I wouldn't say The Rock, because I think The Rock is.
It would have been over the top. It would have been over. It would have been over.
But I got a special set of kills, and I'm gonna
like you see this big bald dude coming toward you, like you're not.
It's unbelievable now.
You can't hide in plain sight.
But
like
Denzel
that.
killed that role.
He did, and it's actually one of the few times he's done a sequel. He's never done another sequel of any other film.
Oh yeah.
And that's the only time he's ever.
He's a quitty kind of man.
I'm like, you know how good your script has to be for him to say, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, because the first time he's like, if it don't work, I'm Denzel, I'll bounce back. A lot of people can't bounce back from that sorry first movie.
Yeah, but see, now they're redoing it again as a series.
Oh.
And they're saying Queen Latifah is going to be the lead. So
she's going to be the Equalizer?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, no, I don't want no parts of that. No, I don't want no parts of that.
You don't want no parts of that?
I don't know.
You don't want to see Khadijah?
Why? How? How is that? In what world is somebody scared of Queen Latifah and she out here making debts equal? And people believe in that.
She set it off.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago. She didn't set it on. She a few pounds and a lot of age. Like, if anything, I'd rather see, I don't know, somebody, not Queen Latifah. I just don't, it's not believable. Like, you're asking me to believe in my imagination that Queen Latifah at 40, 45, looking like a soccer mom, is out here just knocking niggas' heads off.
Gina Davis did it for, what was that? I used to love watching that movie. She played Charlie Baltimore. What was that movie? I keep wanting to say Hand Rocks the Cradle. That is not it.
No.
That is not it. Anyway, there's other films that they're talking about, like obviously Dune. It was, I think Dune was supposed to be released this year, but
it was. I think it was.
Was it this year?
I think I seen it on like HBO and all that.
I must have missed that one. In
I could have swore I was scrolling down and it was on there. Late
I know.
It was late at night too.
Oh, it was probably the original then, because I know they showed it.
I didn't see the. I didn't even stop to look.
Yeah, it was probably the original because I know the new one they have is supposed to be released. It was supposed to be released this year, but I think they're releasing it next year due to.
That might have been the old one.
But you have Dune. Pauly Shore has shown interest in doing it.
Oh God damn it. Queen Latifah and Pauly Shore, that's two names you want to fucking hear. And about action movies.
No, he wants no action movie.
Oh God.
He's willing, he's on board for doing a Encino Man sequel. And I'm like,
you about 40 years too late for that, bro. Brandon Fraser's done for it.
Buddy, it's the Weasel.
Now, don't get me wrong. Pauly Shore in the 90s, cool. Pauly Shore in 2020, fucking old. Not trying to see Pauly Shore doing the same tired rap in 2020 as an old ass man. Oh, the Weasel. The fuck out of here, man. Nobody want to see that in 2020. We didn't had enough bullshit. Now we got your dumb ass coming out the woodwork doing weasel noises and shit.
Oh man,
Weasel.
I mean, well, in Brandon Fraser's defense, he's actually doing better, a lot better, since he's in Doom Patrol. And
what happened to Brandon Fraser? Like his fall from grace was
his fall from grace was not his fault neither. It was some Hollywood bigwig stuff.
Dealing? Oh, some Terry Cruz's.
Yes.
Oh, he wanted to touch the winky and he said no.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
he wants to see the royal wiener.
The royal wiener. Shall I climb the royal penis, your highness?
Speaking of which, Coming to America drops March 2021.
So it is. So they gave him the date finally. Okay.
March 21st.
And it's for Netflix,
March
right?
2021. Damn it.
I know they made a deal. They did a deal. Hulu. He did a deal. Hulu. Okay. I knew he did a deal.
Hulu bought it out, so it's going to be on Hulu March 2021.
See.
So next year. Next March.
Speaking of a sequel, I'm all for that one.
That I want to see because I'm interested in how they do it. Because
I'm sure from the casting I've seen, I won't be disappointed. They got everybody they supposed to get back, plus minus James Earl Jones, plus some new blood, Tracy Morgan, who's
everybody getting pregnant.
Tracy Morgan is always fun to watch, though.
Take my shirt off. Everybody get pregnant. I love Tracy Morgan, man. Shout out to Tracy Morgan, man. Only fat guy that always took his shirt off, man, no matter where he was at.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, Ellen, I'm gonna take my shirt off. Everybody get pregnant.
You don't mind if I do this right here? I'm like, this dude is crazy, man.
Tracy Morgan, man. Shout out and Tracy Morgan. Shout out for his bounce back because that accident he was in.
Talking about a grace of God, man.
Damn. I got goosebumps just bringing it up because he was, injured to from here to there to losing his life.
Yeah,
and to be able to bounce back, and I don't even mean acting and all that. I mean to be able to walk again. To have no real scars and no real, hitches from that. And he was in a horrific accident. I don't know if people seen the pictures, but that Walmart truck could have took him out.
Yeah. We're talking about a big rig.
Man, 18 wheels.
18-wheeler.
Nothing to play with. But for him to be able to bounce back and be, back to normal and have all his mental faculties to him and still be able to physically move.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him, man. The grace of God. He had angels because that's
if we were able to ever pull off a Hail Mary and get Tracy Morgan on the show, I'm like, dude, just host the show. Just go ahead. I'm sitting back.
I would love to sit back. Just Tracy Morgan.
Just let him go.
People, I have an interview list. Tracy Morgan is on that list. There are a few people who I would just be like, I have to. Dave Chappelle, Tracy Morgan.
Oh, I love that Dave Chappelle on the show.
T-Pain.
Mm-hmm.
I like T-Pain because I like his story, but I also love his music. I also like the fact that
his drive
is fucking, man. His energy too. Like,
Don't sleep. That dude is the truth. T-Pain's the truth.
Yeah.
People sleep on it. I'm like, no, this dude ain't just about the music, man. This dude is really about business. He has a
business. T-Pain School of Business. If you ain't never seen it, it's on Vice.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Kobe was on that list. I've always wanted because I know, speaking to him, just the wisdom and the knowledge he could have gave, and I don't even mean just basketball. I mean, the man won an Oscar as a basketball player. How many basketball players in their career and go win an Oscar? Oh, wait. Michael Jordan ain't never did it. Michael Jordan ain't did shit but sell you some dirty ass shoes. The same shoe over and over and over. You get the picture over and over and over again. He just changed the colors here and there. Y'all still buying them.
Now they're selling them again.
Same colors
and calling them colors. Retros.
Oh my God! Hey, I know what we can do. Let's take this shoe we done sold last year in this color, change the color, sell it to them again. They're gonna buy it. But anyway, this is not that kind of show, so we digress. Kobe, because he won an Oscar. The Rock, just because it's The Rock. I mean, come on now.
That's charisma persona.
I don't care what you feel about his acting. Just the man himself, he's charismatic. You know, somebody that you feel you want to talk to. Kevin Hart has fallen off that list because Kevin Hart has stopped being funny. You know, speaking of Kevin Hart, I don't know if you guys know. I'll say that for what the shit. Yeah, I can't. I don't want to. You know, it's controversial. Yeah,
we'll leave it alone. We got a week. We got a week.
Those are some of the people. But Tracy Morgan is at the top. Dave Chappelle's number 2. Mm-hmm. But Tracy Morgan, just that motherfucker is crazy. And I don't mean crazy in a wild way. I just mean and he's calmed down now that he's gotten older. But the young Tracy Morgan, he was just, his interview was wow. And I know he wasn't on no drugs. That's just how he was. He was just, with Ellen, I don't even know everybody. And my favorite line he was saying was, everybody get pregnant. I still say that to this day. They be like, what y'all? Oh, yeah, some girls are here tonight, but everybody getting pregnant. That was my line to go in the club.
Everybody looks the same when the lights go out.
Yeah. So. But the voice, to try to do Tracy Morgan's voice was something I used to try to do back in the day, because the way his mannerism and his talk, it was like that slow Southern drawl, but it wasn't Southern, but yet still he sounded
with the New York and mix. Right. But Darkwing Duck is getting a reboot, which they've already started. They gave him a backdoor pilot. It should have never left. No, it shouldn't. They gave him the backdoor pilot for DuckTales, which was great to watch. He's been on the show at least 3 times already, and it's just fun to watch. So Darkwing Duck is being done. Amazingly enough, Seth Rogen is helping to produce it, but he's not going to be in it.
Thank God.
He's just he's.
Thank God. I'm sorry. Yeah. I like Seth Rogen, but that motherfucker's laugh. It's 3 laughs I do not ever like. Seth Rogen, Fran Drescher, and Seth Rogen.
So the Animaniacs just got a revival, and that's on Hulu right now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And now there's talk of Tiny Toons. I figure why not? Another one. They're actually doing an animated remake of Good Times for Netflix. I don't know how I feel about that.
That sounds like a black caricature. Like, it's just gonna be really offensive drawing. Like, JJ's gonna be this tall, skinny kid, and his neck gonna be all weird moving. And
I can see if they were making fun of like doing it like Boondock style or something.
Speaking of which, Boondocks is still.
They're still on market to
still come back to HBO Plus. I mean HBO Max. They're still don't know how.
Yeah,
but they're coming back.
They're rebooting The Nutty Professor again.
This is gonna be the 3rd time.
Yeah. Another sequel to Scream, which is Scream 5. Don't ask me why.
Damn it.
What else? I don't know how many times, but Wes Ball is behind the Planet of the Apes reboot. I don't see some of these. I don't know why.
How many Planet? We got Mark Wahlberg. You got what's his name? Goofy Seth Rogen friend trying to play James Franco.
Yeah.
Why?
A movie that I was watching today and love dearly is being remade, and I don't know why they're touching this. See, this is another part of the subject I want to touch on, but they're trying to do House Party.
Like Kid and Play House Party?
Kid and Play House Party.
With what? For what? No. You don't touch House Party 1, 2, or 3. Fuck 4. Wait, was 4?
Yeah, it's fuck 4.
4 when he played Kid got no, Kid wasn't in 4.
I don't. It's one of them was in it, and it was like they said it was brief because they weren't like the.
1 was the high school, 2 was college, 3 Kid got married, 4 was I don't know.
4 was immature, I think it was.
No, I like that one. Okay, no, it's 5.
4?
It's the one with Everybody Hates Chris brother.
Okay, yeah, that was it. That was the one. That was the one.
That one was. I don't even know what the hell that was. The Party Never Stops.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Why? The party should have stopped at 4. Let's cut this shit off. Like, why do y'all keep trying to do some shit that don't need to be done?
One that I am looking forward to is Hocus Pocus. They're doing it's not a remake, it's a sequel, and they got the cast back together.
Finally.
You know, Bette Midler.
But it should have been happened.
Like, oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
I don't know why it took this long.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't wait for that. And I'm not even really a Hocus Pocus type of person, but my wife loves it. And the first one was so good.
It is. It really is.
It was just like, why would y'all wait?
They did wait a very long time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you're going to do a sequel, you can't wait 10, 15 years when these actors look totally different or not around at all.
Yeah.
Like,
like where does the drive come through at? In
a sequel needs to be 3 years later, at least. Like, you can't wait 10, 15 years to do a sequel. Now, that team that's not even a sequel. It's a reboot now. Because the people who remember the original are either old or forgot it.
So I have one that I don't think they should touch. Because the original is just so good. The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh fuck no, you don't touch them movies. Spies Like Us.
Yeah.
Caddyshack.
And it's someone that you mentioned earlier who's actually.
It better not be the fucking Rock or Kevin Hart.
It's the latter.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Fuck no. I'm telling you, I'm tired of seeing Kevin Hart. I was with him the first 4 episodes of everything he did, but now it's just like he's fucking everywhere, and he got paid, and he's not even funny anymore. Like like now you're talking about this everyday shit. My son took a shit the other day. Bow, you know what I mean? Like, shut up, man. I'm so tired. We oversaturated. Like, Kevin Hart was in everything, and it's starting to become that way with The Rock. And I like The Rock. I like Kevin Hart. I'm just tired of seeing him everywhere.
So let's talk about that. That's the other part of the reboots and revivals and remakes, you know, and spinoff. So obviously, just through this short list of what I mentioned, we've already shown some displeasure to some stuff, and some other stuff we're not so sure of. You know, it depends on who's behind it, and some things we're okay with. And these are, like I mentioned, the Great Outdoors. You sit me down in front of any John Candy movie, I can sit back and watch it. Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck. Good Lord, I love Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck was a fucking classic.
That's why I was
National Lampoon's the first one.
Yes.
The original National Lampoon Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Uncle Buck.
That's it. That's it. Oh,
Young Macaulay Culkin. That's it. Like,
big giant pancakes using a snow shovel to flip it over. I still don't understand. I'm like, how the hell?
The physics of that makes no sense, but it was still appealing because nobody cared about the reality of how the hell he made these big dumbass pancakes. No one cared. No one cared that he was using a dirty ass shovel to flip these pancakes over. I'm pretty sure that wasn't clean or brand new.
Not only that, cared. I'm like, how did you get a griddle that big?
No one cared.
So,
like, how? No one cares.
You know, he had that old busted ass car, but it did the job.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Don't touch it.
Beautiful.
And they were talking about remaking that.
Yes, they are. I can't remember
Kevin
who
Hart
they
and
said
The Rock.
was doing it. Would I be shocked if it was?
Kevin Hart. It was, you know what's crazy? You could go through and be like, they're rebooting this and this and this. And you'd be like, oh, it's probably Kevin Hart and The Rock. And 9 times out of 10, you would be right. Like if they redid the other guys, The Rock's already in it, so Kevin Hart would naturally just join on.
I'm looking it up.
Like it makes no sense to the fact that you can really just trace back to be like, man. Oh,
you're half right.
The Rock's in it.
Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
Oh, what? Oh, that combination's even worse. that sounds like an annoying laugh face. Oh!
Actually, I can see that working as Will Smith playing the straight man and Kevin Hart being the loud one.
I can't see that.
I can't see that dynamic working all the way around.
I don't want to see that working, period. I'm sorry.
I put it to you like this. I'm not looking. It's not on my high list.
It's on my shit list.
But it is on my list to say I want to see how it plays. I'm not saying it's going to be a favorite film of mine because let's face it, the originals, like I said, the originals for those type of films, they're just fun. I can watch The Breakfast Club. I love watching The Breakfast Club. I've been in Saturday Detention plenty of times.
Oh, I've been there.
So I'm like, damn, that's what I did wrong.
You're talking about rebooting that too.
Yeah. Somewhere John Hughes is not happy.
Kevin Hart's supposed to be playing his part.
Right.
The Rock is Emilio Estevez.
Talking about no. Talk
Cardi
about
B's,
talk about oversaturation. Ali Sheedy's role or something.
Yeah. And Jennifer Hudson is the redhead.
Jesus Christ.
And then you got Ryan Reynolds as the other dude.
Oh, he's playing Judd Nelson. Not Judd Nelson. Yeah, he's playing Judd Nelson's part.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see him doing that. I can see him. Okay, now you might have me on board because
that's a hell of a reboot with that cast.
If you put Ryan Reynolds in there and he's playing the Judd Nelson part, yeah, I can hear all the quips right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
speaking of which, they wrapped on The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds project.
Which was what?
It was supposed to be a FBI agent and crap. I'm gonna have to look it up now because they wrapped on it. That's all I know.
Damn.
I don't remember the plot.
That's crazy. I can't see that one. They're talking about, well, they're not talking about, they're doing it. For a 10-episode revival on Showtime, they're doing Dexter. I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
I think you know what. I think I know why.
It's called Red Notice.
It's called what notice?
Red Notice.
Oh, Red Notice.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a thief, FBI profiler.
So you said The Rock, Gal Gadot.
Go to Netflix.
Okay. You said it's The Rock, Gal Gadot, and
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, I'll sign up for that because it's Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, I actually want to see it though.
Yeah. I'll take that. That's fine. Gal Gadot's hot. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So,
and a badass Israeli fighter.
Yes, exactly. They're doing Conan.
The Barbarian? The Coneheads. I thought you said Coneheads, right?
No, I said Conan, the Barbarian.
Oh my God.
They're doing it for Netflix, I believe.
Who is being Conan? Please don't say Kevin Hart.
Right.
Because I feel like all these are Kevin Hart.
Like by the time the list is done, Kevin Hart is somehow.
I'm Conan. Got my sword.
Right. They're putting Ghost Rider. Not Marvel's Ghost Rider, but
Nicolas Cage?
No, not that one. But Ghost Rider, the TV show from PBS, the 90s children's show, Ghost Rider, where it was kids, they were always
I remember that show.
Yeah, that's going to be on Apple Plus.
That Ghost Rider was actually
that was fun.
Fucked up show.
Yeah,
because you got to think about it. You got kids just like going around and they got this weird ass person writing them weird ass notes.
Yeah, you didn't
know into the cellar. Oh, that's some creepy shit, man.
Who's the ghost that's writing all these messages?
Like this is some creepy ass sexy notes you writing out here. Ghost Rider's rapist. Little kids and shit.
I don't know how I feel about this one really too much, but Nash Bridges.
Oh, that was my show.
Yeah.
With Don Johnson and Cheech Marin?
Yeah.
Please don't tell me they redoing that.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's it said it's set to return to USA.
Okay.
But okay. It's a special. It's a special.
Okay.
Don John. Okay, so that means it's a one shot. It's a one shot deal. Don Johnson.
Man, I almost had a heart attack for real. Nash Bridges was a good show.
Yeah, Don Johnson is expected to return.
Monk.
So yeah. Oh, I loved Monk. Don't touch Monk.
Don't touch Sight. I want them to bring back Sight, but like for good. I don't want no specials and none of that shit. I want the show come back. Put it on Peacock. I'll get that shit. I'm tired of all these streaming sites just to watch one show, but whatever.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. So Psych was so fucking amazing.
Psych was just funny. That's why.
It was, but at the same time, it was
like he was literally a con artist. Like
pretty much.
He was a con artist.
Police, and his dad told him how to do all this.
That's why. It was like his dad was like this major big time detective. He taught him how to and
his dad was Corbin Benson.
Stuff. Yeah.
And he stayed throughout the show. You had Gus Busters and Gus was the shit, man. He was like Carlton, only a little cooler.
He was just like, Sean, we can't do this. And he was like, come on, you want that cute little redhead. And like, okay, Sean, But
all the names, this is Jazz Fingers McGee, Ubuntu, this is my friend Ubuntu. That show. Then you had Lassiter.
Yeah, Lassiter. Oh god.
I love Lassiter, man. He was like straight laced, but he know how to let loose just a little bit.
He was like we had to call him in. He was like, damn it.
Sean.
So yeah, but that's just a few. I mean, there's so many. So it stands the question. The other half of that question is, has Hollywood run out of ideas?
Yes.
Or are some of the ideas that Hollywood is having not bad?
I think the problem is it's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people, it's the nostalgia of those old movies or whatever. And you have like new fans to this like vehicle, so to say, to this franchise. So you want to bring it back. But then when you bring it back, you can't bring it back with the old actors. So now you got to bring in new actors. Now you got these new actors that people of this age can recognize. So I think that's where lies the problem, because every time you reboot it, you're bringing back different actors. And then you got to tweak the story a little bit to fit, the time and the climate of what's going on in the world. So it's just, I do kind of think they're running out of fresh ideas, because it's like you can only see 45 different lizard movies before you be like, we're tired of seeing lizards.
Right.
It's like like we were talking about with the zombie craze. It was here, it lasted a cup of tea, and then it was gone.
That's true.
So it's just like it gets to a point to where nothing's new under the sun.
Yeah.
At some point, they're gonna keep having to reboot movies just because they've worked. If you have a proven product that worked, that's why Sony keep doing Spider-Man movies, not only because they had a contract, but because they worked. Change the actor, same story. Everybody knows the story, but they're gonna go watch it because it's Spider-Man.
Yeah. This is true. Once again, but see, okay, perfect example. People are going to go to see it again. Same with Batman. They're going to go see it because of these characters. Mm-hmm. And it's saying, like with Spider-Man, people were like, you could hear the rumblings oh God, not again.
But it's them same people who watched it.
Right. But then you go to see it like a Homecoming.
Visually different.
It's under the house it's supposed to be under. And then on top of that, he literally says in the film, something happened to my uncle, but that's a long story and I don't want to go into that.
See, they changed. See, again, they modernized it.
And it's true because it's like it's been done so many times. If you do not know what the story is to this backstory to this character is, I don't know what else to tell you. Go watch the old ones. Go read a book.
You aren't invested,
Yeah. So
now here's another thing about like Spider-Man. Every time they reboot it, they both get younger. Aunt May and Peter.
Well, see, I just
like every time
this version is possibly the version they have going now with Tom Holland is, to me, probably one of the best versions. It's the most realized or realistic version because I was talking to my wife about it earlier. I said, doesn't it bother you that Aunt May all this time has been like this grandmother age, and Peter was like 16? That just strikes you as weird. This version they have now, where of course, she's young and hot. Of course, she would be.
She got free falafel
and sticky rice.
Sticky rice. And, it was in an Indian place, so it must have been real sticky.
It was just like they were running next door getting food. They were like, "Hey, let's get her anything she wants," and that was true. But it makes sense this way to make your aunt, and even as the books were going along, like in the Ultimate Universe of Spider-Man, and then like on the cartoon. They always try to, Aunt May's obviously older, but they try to make her not that old, but a little more hip, a little more into the now and stuff. This is about as close as they came. This is about the best they could do. And I'm glad they did it that way because it makes sense. Because it's like, okay, if Aunt May is damn near 70 something years old
and Peter's 12, it don't make sense.
Like, how old were your parents? Like, were you an old folks baby or something, or who Aunt May was? I think Uncle Ben was his actual blood. Yeah, I think Uncle Ben might have been his actual.
I don't know, but that story it's so convoluted. It's like McAvoy and Stewart. Like,
I think so. But I think Uncle Ben was the actual blood relative, and. At any rate, that means either your mother or your father, their parents, your grandparents had them way too far apart, or your parents are just old folk babies or old folks.
It was the oops baby.
The oops baby,
Oh, we 50. Oops.
Right. But we could go on and on about all this stuff that's going on with the remakes, the reboots, and the reshoots, but there's just so much information. There's just so much to take in, but we do not have time for all of that.
So in other words, you got homework for tonight, people.
You got homework for tonight. Drop something down in the comments. Check us out. Drop something down in the comments. Shoot us an email. Go to the Blerd's Eyeview YouTube page. Go to the Blerd's Eyeview Facebook page. Let us know. What do you think about all these remakes and these spinoffs and these reimaginings of these films and television shows, and tell me what you think. Tell us what you think.
And also, if you could do your own reboot, what would it be and who would be in it? The stars.
Yeah, there's your
You want to do the Odd Couple with The Rock and Kevin Hart? Please don't. But that's where you want to go with it. Let us know, and we will gladly read them on air.
I mean, Jay, shout out, happy birthday!
Like for a blue moon.
Oh, there you go. Well,
I feel like I'm walking in a club from Belly.
Showing off, huh?
Color contact.
Step into the light.
Here we go. All right, there you go.
You just pulled the Green Lantern out. Just make sure the suit's not green or animated.
I'm going back to Wakanda purple. Screw that.
Yeah, the purple glow is good for you. I'm gonna stick with this green.
So Any shout outs you want to do?
This remind me of the Wiz. You got to be seen in blue.
I really hate you so much.
The color is blue. Everybody start ripping off their shit, got on blue shit automatically out of nowhere. God. Like these motherfuckers had on 7 layers of clothes just in case.
I was living.
That's a bomb soundtrack, but when you actually watch that as an adult, you be like, God,
this shit don't make no sense. These niggas had on 60 pairs of clothes in the middle of the Wizard. In the middle of the Wiz, these niggas had on all these outfits.
And then I've always
watched nobody come bring me no bad news.
She was sitting on the toilet.
Her throne was a literal porcelain throne. They flushed her monkey ass shit.
Oh my God. It's a classic.
Oh, I love it.
It really is a classic. But
we got to look at it for what it was. She was sitting on the goddamn toilet talking about nobody bring her no bad news.
But the music catchy.
He's on down the road.
I mean, when you have Michael and Diana,
that was it right there. That was the selling point.
The music is going to be on point.
What was that song about the knowledge? That was my shit. The Scarecrow song Michael was singing.
Man, you can't win. Michael was
you can't win. That song was a fucking
break even, and you can't get out of the game. I'm like, that was.
You can't get out of the game.
I'm like, you shouldn't be spitting that much knowledge.
Dog, that song was dropping gems back then. I was like, damn.
I'm like, and look at what we dealing with now. And I'm like,
damn, Mike. Get out the game, huh? You ain't breaking even.
Been talking about this shit like Ben for years. I still think he killed him.
Slide some oil to me. Let me lubricate my mind.
Hold on. He was just like, my wife, she laid it on me. And I look at it, I'm like, okay.
That was my shit, man. Lubricate my jaw. I'm about to go watch that shit tonight.
Look, how can you not watch? Like I said,
my nigga just came out of nowhere. Slide some more you to me.
I feel like my in a world like that where everyone's black and musically talented.
Yeah, that's a beautiful world.
To the people, everybody's gonna come in like that. You know what I mean? Like you have.
My nigga came hard though. Did a line. I'm a mean old lion.
Oh my God, that was such a classic. But look, but you really, I mean, even the costumes was something to look at.
But it was black excellence.
That's what it was. Scared me.
The crows was the shit though.
I was like,
the crows and the monkeys on the motorcycle, the flying monkeys.
Like, Michael, get out of there!
I'm like, those were some ugly bikers, man. When you seen that leader up close, I'm like, you are ugly.
I can appreciate that though, because looking at stuff like that back then, and even like the Neverending Story, I'm just so here for the puppetry and the costumes and the time that took, because everything wasn't so CGI'd out, and it's like we had.
And that was back in the 70s when they made the wig.
Okay, and your prosthetics. I mean, like if you're gonna have the camera in our face, we gotta be.
On point.
Michael didn't look like Michael at some points in that movie.
I was like,
who was this big nose? Little did you know that big nose was.
When Diana helped him down and they got to walk, and my man bust out a full mic spin. I'm like,
flat out.
He just had atrophy in his legs. That's all. He just had atrophy.
He was like, for family.
When he was singing, when he was up there, because that must say, you can't win.
Dog.
They spinning him around. I'm like,
Michael was on the cross for real in that movie. But he was singing the hell out of that song, though.
He knew this was it for him. He was like,
he started pulling words out of his chest and was like,
not out of his chest.
Yeah. Why don't you read us one of those funny sayings? He's like, he'll just bust out a saying. They just laugh at him.
Well, family means The Rock can jump off a building anytime he wants.
Stop it. Rewatch it. But that's not what he said. Is that what he said?
That's what he said. He just said it in a different language.
He did different language. Well, this is our shout out section. This our shout out segment. We get ready to shut down.
We always do that. We try to leave for like 2 hours and then.
Oh no, welcome to the we're considered like a 2 hour show. We just are.
Oh.
We just are.
I didn't know.
You know, we can
you
segment
can't
it,
win.
I don't want to do that.
And you can't get out of the game.
Might be hell on editing, but we'll figure it out.
To me. Let me ease
we'll do better.
my
You'll have a better editing life if we can get it down to like under 45 minutes or at. Oh my God. You're going to love it.
Then you're talking about the other show I host, which is Nerds on Ice. So
see, and then you just push through them edits.
You know what else? Don't nobody go bring me no bad news.
Let's do the shout outs. Brandy, go ahead.
Not only like, comment, subscribe to all of Blerd's Eyeviews, Instagram page, the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and then you can stalk us all individually too. But go to the Triangle and you can look at us on Facebook and YouTube and IG for our dumb shit. We can give you the news, we can give you sex talk, we can give you whatever the fuck we want to talk about too.
The Blue Light Special.
The Blue Light Special. That costs extra.
I'm feeling blue.
What you got, D? I'm sorry, what you got? Chet Deuster House. Just Chet Deuster House.
And I recently did like my...
You got to bust out the Fred G.
The Fred G.
And also anybody that wanted to know, they're listening, whether you're male or female, because I don't know your business, but Skims shapewear is not all that. Kim Kardashian just came out with like a shapewear line or whatever. And I really feel like it's for bitches who already paid for a shape. So don't invest in it. You good. Just either go to the gym or do some other shit, but it ain't it. Overpriced.
Because you can't win.
You can't win.
See, it works with everything.
It does.
For me, I just want to say what shit is coming up on its end of the first season tomorrow. We're going to be live. This guy won't be here, but somebody else will be. We have two spectacular guests. I don't want to put their names out there yet because I want it to be a complete surprise. But one doesn't like cancer, and the other is the tribal food chief. And he has a voice that like Chris from the Gods. So, ladies, if you're trying to get that WAP,
listen to us tomorrow
because there's gonna be some serious furniture moving in this motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Mr. Loax Johnson.
Yeah, his name rhymes with IHOP. Anywho, where was I?
I hate y'all.
I'm drunk.
No,
I got a party to go to.
It looks like he's staring off into space.
I am, but I have sunglasses on, so you can really kind of tell. Anywho, where was I? Oh, Smoking Reviews is coming. Don't forget the Triangle. Always watch Blerd's Eyeview on Saturday.
Always.
And then you got What the Shit on Sundays, but we're going to be taking a 2 to 3 week break because we're going to party for a graduation.
Fun.
Me, Chris, and Courtney are getting some little papers that said we did some shit for a lot of money.
Yeah.
So look out for that because we might be live for that. You never know.
Oh, nice.
And as always, you can't win and you can't get out of the game.
And this is your host, Chris Fury.
Yeah. I've been trying to do that name for
check me out here on Blerd's Eyeview Live every Saturday. Check out the Facebook page, the YouTube page, the Instagram page, the Twitter, and the LinkedIn, all under the same name, Blerd's Eyeview. Check me out also on Wednesdays for Nerds on Ice, and live here Friday nights for the Cosmic Disasters Crew. So, and that's under Circle of Nerds. So check us out
at your local bakery, baking them cakes.
And Michael's
local bakery,
Michael's Bakery baking them cakes. Also at Leroy's.
I'm coming
House
for your
of
job,
Ribs.
Wayne Brady. I'm coming for your job, Wayne Brady.
My guy got like 60 jobs. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I gotta be a butcher.
I ain't getting paid for none of them yet.
Not yet, because you can't pay.
Yeah, like my man, like Chet Deucer House just said. What can't we do?
We can't win and we can't get out. Oh, that one, not that one.
That's the one.
Oh, okay. All right. There were so many.
So until next time.
Bring me no bad news.
Until next time.
You sound like Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong, he does sound like Louis Armstrong.
Don't nobody bring me no bad news. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
Not a cha-cha-cha-cha.
Really? Until next time with Chris Fury, Brandy Blocker, and Darius DC Chambers. We will see you next time.
Whoa, hold on, wait.
Oh, I didn't forget. I did not forget. I was going there.
Sorry.
So until next time.
You be like, till next time, and he be like, all right, don't bust that nut yet. Go.
Yeah, right. Until next time, you can't do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for someone around you. Entertain yourself and others. Educate yourself and others. And most of all, empower yourself and others. And until then, Chris Fury and the crew, Blerd's Eyeview, out.
And don't forget, for family. Ah, that gotta work.
Oh my God.
I will never get tired of someone just yelling out for family now.
Make sure to listen to Blerd's Eyeview with your host Chris G on any of your favorite outlets, including Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to visit our website at blackgamuttentertainment.com and get the latest on news on our podcast, giveaways, and contests. That's Black Gamut Entertainment, GAMUT Entertainment.com. And thank you for listening.